So we've all heard it before. Win the morning, win the day. But this doesn't just mean being productive. This also means eating. And you've also probably heard that it's not always what or how much you eat, but the timing of what you eat. And then there's another thing that you probably keep hearing over and over and over, including from your host, that you need to get more protein, especially as you age. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Not just the fact that we need more protein, but when is the optimal time to start getting that protein in our bodies? That is the message of today's Healthy CEO podcast. Thanks for listening. Hey, before we get started, if you would, please click like or subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you happen to be listening to this on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcast, if you would please leave a 5-star rating and also share this with someone who you think might benefit from it. Thanks for joining us. Let's get started. Today, we're talking about something incredibly simple that can completely change your metabolism, body composition, energy levels, and even how you age. And it's this: getting at least 30 grams of protein at breakfast. Now, I know some of you are already saying this. Jason, I'm not hungry in the morning, or maybe I intermittent fast, and as a result, I don't do anything but drink black coffee till noon. I appreciate this. I'm an intermittent faster as well. But listen, even though the popularity of intermittent fasting has becoming so popular, I want you to at least take a look and reconsider breakfast. I want to challenge you to not automatically assume that not eating breakfast is healthier than eating breakfast. What the research is increasingly showing is that how you break your fast matters tremendously, especially if your goal is fat loss, muscle preservation, metabolic health, cognitive performance, and longevity. One of the most interesting things I've learned from researchers and coaches in this space is that many people who aren't hungry in the morning may actually have a sluggish metabolic response. Your body has adapted to not eating. That doesn't necessarily mean you're broken, but it may mean your metabolism just isn't being activated early in the day. Think about this. If you wake up and immediately start running on stress hormones and caffeine, but no nutrition, what signal are you giving your body?
This episode of The Healthy CEO is brought to you by Authentic Health, your trusted source for foundational supplements designed to help you live longer, stronger, and with more energy. At Authentic Health, we believe that better health starts at the cellular level. That's why our carefully crafted supplement stack is built to support cellular health, protect against environmental toxins, and give your body the foundation it needs to thrive every single day. And here's something special just for listeners of The Healthy CEO. Head over to shopauthentichealth.com and use the promo code JASON at checkout to receive an exclusive discount on your order. Take charge of your health, invest in your longevity, and fuel your performance with Authentic Health.
You're basically telling your body, we are in survival mode. And over time, that can impact energy, cravings, muscle retention, blood sugar stability, and the most important, recovery. What's fascinating is that many people who start eating a balanced breakfast can begin waking up hungry within a few days. That's your metabolism waking back up. Now, let's talk about this idea of 30 grams. Why 30 grams of protein matters? Well, 30 grams of protein, it's important because protein does several things extremely well. First, protein has a high thermic effect. This means that your body burns more calories digesting protein than it does carbs or fat. Protein also stabilizes blood sugar. So instead of the roller coaster of coffee, muffin, crash, cravings, you get more stable energy and appetite control. Third, protein dramatically increases satiety. You stay full longer, which means you snack less, and you reduce the likelihood of overeating later in the day. Here's an analogy I like to give people. Eating only carbs for breakfast is like throwing paper on a fire. It's a big flame, but it burns out really quick. But protein is like putting a log on the fire. It burns longer. It burns steadier. It burns more efficiently. Muscle can also be the fountain of youth. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Muscle is one of the greatest predictors of healthy aging. Not just looking fit, I'm talking about actual strength, mobility, glucose control, metabolic health, independence later in life, and lower mortality risk. After the age of 30, adults can lose between 3 and 8% of muscle per decade if they do not intentionally try to maintain it. That is a huge amount. And one of the key drivers of maintaining muscle is stimulating something called mTOR. mTOR is basically the cellular pathway that signals your body to build and repair muscle tissue. One of the biggest triggers for activating mTOR is an essential amino acid called leucine. Research from experts like Donald Layman suggests you need roughly 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine in a meal to fully stimulate muscle protein synthesis, especially as you get older. That's why the quality of your protein matters as well. All right, so now let's talk about what does 30 grams of protein actually look like. Here are a few examples. 4 eggs plus egg whites, Greek yogurt with whey protein in it, cottage cheese, chicken breast, tofu, lentils, and black beans combined, a high-quality whey isolate shake. And here's something important. I want to add for those of you who practice intermittent fasting, because I know you were talking to me up front saying, I don't eat breakfast, Jason, because I do intermittent fasting. Well, you can also use essential amino acids. You can use essential amino acids strategically during your morning fast. This is huge. A lot of people want the benefit of fasting. They want appetite control. They want insulin management, mental clarity, digestive rest. That's huge. But they also don't want to sacrifice muscle. And you should not want to sacrifice this ever. And this is where essential amino acids can be incredibly valuable. EAAs provide the building blocks your body needs for muscle protein synthesis without requiring a large meal. In many cases, taking essential amino acids in the morning can help support lean muscle, stimulate muscle repair, improve recovery, and provide leucine without the heaviness of a full breakfast. So if somebody says, I can't stomach chicken and eggs at 7 a.m., fair enough, I get it. I don't want any chicken at 7 in the morning. A quality essential amino acid supplement can be very practical. It can really help you with this. It's also good for when you're traveling, if you train really early, older adults, or people transitioning away from aggressive fasting. Now, to be clear, EAAs are not a replacement for a nutrient-dense whole food diet long-term, but strategically, they can absolutely help support muscle preservation and metabolic health. Here's the longevity connection. Here's what I think is incredibly important. A lot of people focus on losing weight, but the real goal should be this: preserving muscle while losing fat. Because muscle is metabolic currency. Muscle helps you burn more calories, regulate blood sugar, age better, and maintain vitality. Breakfast is one of the easiest opportunities each day to support that process. So instead of asking, how long can I avoid eating? Maybe the better question is, how can I strategically fuel my body to perform better and age stronger? If you've been skipping breakfast for years, I'm not telling you to suddenly go eat pancakes tomorrow morning. Don't do that. But I would challenge you to do a little experiment. Try 30 grams of quality protein in the morning for a week. See how your energy levels change, changes in your cravings, workouts change, and even your focus. Because sometimes the biggest breakthroughs in health come from the simplest habits. Fuel your body, protect your muscle, support your metabolism, and age with strength. Thanks so much for listening to The Healthy CEO. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone who's serious about optimizing their health and longevity. And as always, continue to improve always and always. I'm Jason, and I'm out.
The content provided in this podcast, The Healthy CEO, is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. The opinions expressed by our hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of The Healthy CEO. Any information provided by our hosts or guests, including any physicians who may appear on the podcast, is solely for informational purposes and does not create any doctor-patient relationship. Listeners are advised to consult with their healthcare providers before making any changes to their health routines. The Healthy CEO and its affiliates assume no responsibility or liability for any consequence resulting directly or indirectly from any action or inaction you take based on the information provided in this podcast.